Okay, we're going to focus on the main body panel here, and I'm just going to do the metric system. For those of you doing standard English, of course, refer to your instructions and it'll give you the proper dimensions. But we're going to start with the length of our main body panel, and to do that, I'm just going to go ahead and just push my paper up a little bit and focus on the bottom of my piece of paper. And again, the paper should be oriented landscape. And I'm going to make sure that the first line here of my ruler, not the end of the ruler because that would add a couple of millimeters on, but that first line is lined up with the end of my piece of paper on the left hand side. And then I'm going to count over 280 millimeters, which is also equal to 28 centimeters, and I'm simply just going to put a little dash mark there at the bottom of my piece of paper. As you can see it's right there. Then I'm going to focus on the width of this main body panel, which, if I look correctly here, it is 10 centimeters. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my ruler now and going to be going perpendicular to the bottom, again on the left hand side, making sure that my ruler is lined up on the bottom. Take your time, this isn't a race, so it's better to be accurate. I'm going to just go up to my 10 now. I'm going to go ahead and put a little dash at the 10. Then I'm going to slide my ruler over to the right. And I'm going to go to where I made that dash, line up my ruler. And again, I'm just going to come up to the 10 and make a little dash. Okay, now that we have our two dashes here, I'm going to go ahead and connect these two, and basically going to treat my ruler now as a straight edge. So find the side of the ruler that's the straightest for you. Some of you will have the nice little metal strip at the top, like I do, but if you don't, just pick the side that's got the nice straight edge on it, and just line up those two marks that you made, and then hold the ruler with at least 3 fingers, just so your ruler doesn't move. Press down just a little bit, and then take your pencil and just lightly draw your line all the way across the piece of paper here. Okay. Alright. And that first dot we made, remember it was 28 centimeters from the left hand side over here. We're going to just come up here on this line here, and I'm going to make sure that my ruler's lined up at the end. And we're going to do a little bit of measuring. Let's flip this around here. And just make sure that I put a little mark at my 28. And then we're going to go ahead and just connect these two dots that you've made. And we're going to run all the way up the piece of paper. Again, you're using your ruler as a straight edge now. Alright, there we have it. We're not going to use this section here, so I'm just going to remind myself that we're not going to use it by just squiggling out that piece. And right here, we have a nice 28 centimeter by 10 centimeter main body panel, or, according to directions, we've got 280 millimeters by 100 millimeters. Okay, now we're going to make those little skates. One of the skates is going to come down from the top line that we made here, and another skate is going to come up from the bottom. And I'm going to go ahead and take a look at my instructions here. And according to my instructions, each skate is going to be 12 millimeters wide, and it's going to be 280 millimeters or 28 centimeters long. So I'm just going to come over on the right hand side and use my ruler. I'm going to line up my line here, and I'm going to come down from this top line 1 centimeter and 2 millimeters. I'm just going to put a little mark here. Then I'm going to slide my ruler over to the left, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to line up at the top here, come down by 1 centimeter and 2 millimeters, and put a nice little dot. Now, as you can imagine, we need to have our skate length 280 millimeters or 28 centimeters. So what I'm going to do now, because a bulk of this line is going to be dotted, I'm going to go ahead and just dot this whole line here and just line up those 2 marks, at least 3 fingers towards the center of the ruler. And I'm just going to go ahead and just pick my pencil up every couple of millimeters and just create a nice little dashed line as we go across. Now part of this line will become solid later, and we can do that. Alright, so there's one skate at the top. Again, we're not going up from the line, we're coming down. Okay, next, this bottom one. We're going to go ahead and measure up from the bottom of the piece of paper 1 centimeter and then 2 little millimeters. So I'm just going to put a little mark right there. Slide my ruler over to the left. And again, line my ruler up. And I'm going to come up 1 centimeter and 2 little millimeters. Put a mark. And again, what we're going to do now is use your ruler as a straight edge. And we're going to go ahead and connect those 2 with a nice dashed line. Again, hold on to it towards the middle. After lining it up, press down firmly so your ruler doesn't move. And we're just going to create a nice dashed line going across here. Okay. Now we're going to fold what's going to end up being the back of your skimmer main body panel. We need to create a nice dash line that is 75 or 7.5 centimeters from the left of your piece of paper. So I'm going to line up my ruler, and I'm going to come over my 7 centimeters and 5 millimeters, which is 7.5 centimeters, the mark. Then I'm going to slide my ruler up to the top, and I'm going to do the same thing again, over 7.5, put a dash. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and just make a nice dash line coming all the way down here. Okay. So I told you earlier that we're going to have to make part of this line solid, and the part we're going to do is to the left of this line we just created. So you just take your straight edge now, because we're going to cut this part. This is where your fin will fit in. And just make that a solid line, and we'll do the same thing down here. Nice little solid line. And then you can erase any kind of dash line that you might have inside your skate here. And there's our main body panel. Next I'll show you how to do the fins above it over here.